Hello, name's Critically Chris, and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the book communities, specifically the books that are being pushed into the spotlight, and I see recurring video after video. I'm not on TikTok, but I am on Instagram, and some people with both will just repost what they have on one platform onto the other, so I do believe I'm seeing some of what would be on the app that I'm not on anyways. But even if I'm not, just from the content I am seeing from book hauls, most popular books, reviews, and set up my reading corner videos, I always see the exact same books at some point in the content. The main books or series that I see in these videos are the Court series, Servant of Glass series, Fourth Wing series, It Ends With Us, The Silent Patient, Haunting Adeline, and various romance and fantasy books that would take me a while to call them all out by title. Not everyone posts what they read, and some don't even post at all, but some will use the platforms to browse and look for recommendations or rely on others' posts for their next read. I do not consider that a bad thing, but when you only go off others' preferences, it can slightly take the fun out of reading. Not only putting your expectations so high that you might get disappointed if you don't like the book, but also of going to the bookstore in general. One of the most enjoyable parts of reading for me isn't the reading itself, but going to the store and taking the time to browse. Picking up book after book, reading the back of each, seeing which one catches my interest, deciding for myself. Online reviews will not guarantee how you feel about a book. Books are subjective when it comes to the love each story gets. Browsing yourself doesn't guarantee it either, but it does give a higher chance you will like what you picked up. I am in no way against any of these books. It's just slightly weird to me that I see the same books repeatedly pushed to viewers as must-reads. I have read some of these books, and I am curious to read some of the others as well just to see what the hype is about, but I also don't see myself reading all of them because majority tends to be in the romance genre, and I'm not much of a romance reader personally. What I am against is the originality and individuality that can be taken away when these online communities are solely relied on. Yes, it opens conversation when you meet someone who has read the same book, but I can imagine it gets tiring having the same conversations over and over. It is fun to talk about a favorite book. I will bring up Hunger Games almost any time I can. But I also find joy in sharing about a book to someone who hasn't read something that I have. Recommend it to them if they read themselves, but of course, not everyone I know reads for fun, so I'll just go on tangents about what I've read while they stand there with no clue of what I'm talking about, but they let me go on about it, and I appreciate that. Very few books that I see pushed and have good reviews are in the thriller horror genre, which is a little disappointing to me since that is mainly what I read, but I'm also not one to only go based off online reviews. Not every book is everyone's cup of tea. Some may love a book while others don't care for it at all. Every book review is an opinion. My whole channel is just my opinion, and I don't think it should deter anyone from trying out a book they've had their eye on. Part of why I encourage people to comment on my reviewing videos if they have a part that they disagree with, if not my whole review. I've also noticed a lack of genre variety being pushed in general. I mentioned a minute ago that majority books being pushed are romance, fantasy, or a mix of the two. I do not mind either genre every other book or so, but those are not the only genres out there, and I would like to see other book genres advertised more or just as much as romance and fantasy. I know there are famous and infamous books, but I do not think those are the only books that should be paid attention to. It barely gives new authors the opportunity to make themselves known and takes away opportunities from existing authors that no one is caring to talk about. I do not believe all hype for every popular book has good reasoning. I believe a fair amount of writing has gone sloppy, and I also believe many of the books being pushed to the spotlight are just easy to read, making it seem like they are so good. That is not to say that there should not be easy reading books, but not everyone finds that type of writing enjoyable all the time, if at all. In summary, do not only rely on what others have to say to find your next read. Don't give in to the pressure some of these online people can put others under, and venture out to find what you actually like to read. Reading should be fun and or a distraction from reality, a time to relax. I don't think reading should be a trend to be followed, just an activity you find pleasure in, or possibly something you can make a career out of. Now, not meaning to be hypocritical in the slightest here, but as usual, If you want any recommendations, I will be leaving my Goodreads in the description below. Feel free to leave a comment if there's anything you agree or disagree with, or if there is a book you would like for me to read and review for a future video. Consider leaving a like and subscribe to stick around for more. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.